A very good morning and welcome to the breakfast news here on Sabha TV. I'm Tracy Shilshi and here are the headlines. Controversy hits Aam Aadmi Party again. Sacked party minister Kapil Mishra hits back, says Kejriwal ignored his report into the water tanker scam, vows to expose names during a meet with anti-corruption branch today. The wounds of Sukma still fresh. Home Minister Rajnath Singh to meet chief ministers of 10 states affected by Naxal menace to focus on ways to minimize casualties of security forces. "39-year-old Emmanuel Macron is France's new president, secures over 65% of the votes to beat far-right rival Marine Le Pen. EU leaders hail the verdict. And BCCI clears India's participation in the Champions Trophy. Will meet today to decide the squad for the tournament that starts on the 1st of June. Well, let's start with yet another controversy that has hit the Aam Aadmi Party. A day after being dropped as the minister of the state, party MLA Kapil Mishra levelled stunning allegations of corruption against Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Health Minister Satyendra Jain. Hours after the Aam Aadmi Party dismissed the allegations, Kapil Mishra met Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal and also said that he would share all evidence with the anti-corruption branch today. Mishra alleged he was an eyewitness to Jain handing over 2 crore rupees to Chief Minister and party national convener Arvind Kejriwal, questioning the inaction over a report that he submitted to Kejriwal in August 2015 on the alleged 400 crore rupee water tanker scam during the tenure of the Sheila Dikshit government. Mishra said that he plans to give the ACB information about the role of 2 people working in the CM's office involved in the scam. Meanwhile, the BJP and the Congress have demanded Kejriwal's resignation, saying that he has no moral and legal right to continue as Chief Minister.
अपने हाथों से उनको कैश लेते हुए मैंने देखा है और कैबिनेट में 2 साल होते हुए ऑन रिकॉर्ड दिल्ली के उपराज्यपाल महोदय को बयान देकर आया हूं। बयान या आरोप नहीं है, ऑन रिकॉर्ड उपराज्यपाल महोदय को देकर आया हूं और इसके बाद एसीबी, सीबीआई सबको बताऊंगा जाकर।
वो तो बात जवाब देने लायक भी नहीं है, कोई इस पर यकीन नहीं कर सकता। बहुत ही उलझलूल आरोप उन्होंने लगाए हैं, उनका कोई सिर पैर नहीं है। इसके बारे में इतना ही कहा जा सकता है, उसका कोई जवाब नहीं है।
आपको तत्क्षण दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री पद से इस्तीफा देना चाहिए, क्योंकि ये आरोप कोई भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता या सिपाही नहीं लगाया।
In other news that we'll be tracking this morning, Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh is set to chair a review meeting with chief ministers of 10 left-wing extremism affected states to brainstorm over ways to tackle the menace. The Home Minister has asked security officials to look for out-of-the-box solutions to the problem of successive attacks, in fact, by Naxalites on security personnel. The conclave comes in the shadow of the April 24th attack by Maoists in Chhattisgarh's Sukma region, in which 25 CRPF men were killed. District magistrates and superintendents of police of 35 worst-hit districts will also be taking part in this conclave, which will take a holistic view of the situation, covering security and also developmental issues. Ways to revamp intelligence gathering mechanism as well as minimizing casualties among security forces are likely to be discussed in this meet. The meet will also focus on devising new strategies to ensure rapid development in left-wing extremism-affected areas. At least 106 districts of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Orissa, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh are affected by Naxal violence. And today, the Supreme Court will also pronounce its verdict on a plea by the CBI against RJD Chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in the fodder scam case. The probe agency had filed a petition in the Apex Court against the dropping of a conspiracy charge against Lalu Yadav by the Jharkhand High Court in 2014 in one of the fodder scam cases. The court had quashed the cases on the grounds that a person convicted in one case could not be tried in similar cases based on witnesses and evidences. However, the CBI had contended that though the cases have arisen from fodder scam, they are different in nature as different amounts were involved from different treasuries. The scam involved fraudulent withdrawal of 950 crore rupees of public money from the treasuries of Chaibasa in undivided Bihar for fictitious medicines and also fodder for cattle over a period of 20 years. The matter came to light in 1996. In October 2013, Yadav was convicted in one of the cases on charges of embezzling 37 crore rupees. However, he received bail in that year itself in December from the Supreme Court. Over 50 cases were registered for embezzlement of funds on the pretext of buying fodder for cattle, among others. Now, the CBI, during its probe in the last 3 years, has unearthed 339 shell companies that are based in India and were allegedly diverting funds to the tune of 2,900 crore rupees. The shell companies were involved in bank loan fraud, fraudulent transactions, providing false invoices, routing funds, rotating funds, and also fraudulent infusion of equity. The activities have been exposed during the CBI probe into various loan fraud cases involving 28 public sector banks and a private bank. Besides this, CBI is also probing about 200 bank fraud cases involving funds of at least 30,000 crore rupees. Revenue Secretary Hasmukh Adhia has said that out of the 15 lakh companies registered in the country, 9 lakh were not filing any returns, and some among them have been acting as shell companies. The investigative agency has filed a charge sheet against borrowers, bank officials, and against shell companies. The offences have been registered under the Company Act, apart from Money Laundering Act and the Benami Transactions Act. All right, now to Kashmir, where after the social media ban, the Jammu and Kashmir government has sought action against at least 34 TV channels, including those from Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and even Iraq. The Jammu and Kashmir government has asked all the deputy commissioners of the state to take action against the transmission of these channels, saying they have the potential to incite violence and create law and order situation. The DCs were asked what action has been taken in regard to reports that certain cable operators were transmitting non-permitted channels. They've also been directed to submit a compliance report on the matter by Monday. The directive comes after the centre asked the state government to take immediate steps to stop the unauthorized broadcasts of Pakistani and Saudi Arabian channels in the state. The action comes 2 days after Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Venkaiah Naidu, spoke with Jammu and Kashmir Chief Secretary over the issue and sought action taken report from him on the matter. Now, stating that the Northeast has not seen balanced development, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said on Sunday that his government has initiated major infrastructure projects to make the region a gateway to Southeast Asia. Addressing the centenary celebrations of the Bharat Sevashram Sangh in Shillong through video conference, the Prime Minister said that the NDA government has initiated major infrastructure projects in the Northeast states, including an investment of 40,000 crore rupees to improve roads and highways. The Bharat Sevashram Sangh is a network of volunteers across the globe engaged in helping people in distress. Emphasizing on the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Modi lamented that only Gangtok had found a place in the first 50 clean cities out of the 12 cities from the region surveyed as part of the recent nationwide cleanliness survey. The Prime Minister also said that the major thrust would be to improve connectivity and develop the entire region for tourism purposes.
गांधी ने चंपारण में सत्याग्रह आंदोलन का बीजारोपण किया। हम सभी के लिए सुखद संयोग है कि इस वर्ष देश चंपारण सत्याग्रह के 100 वर्ष का भी उत्सव मना रहा है। सत्याग्रह आंदोलन के साथ साथ ही महात्मा गांधी ने लोगों को स्वच्छता के प्रति जागरूक भी किया था।
Now, following the demise of Haji Abdul Salam, the then sitting Rajya Sabha MP from Manipur on the 28th of February this year, the Election Commission has notified that the by-election to fill up the vacant post will be held on the 25th of May. The poll notification will be given today, while the last date for filing nomination papers is the 15th of May. Along with Manipur, Odisha too will hold a by-election on the same date, following the resignation of the then Rajya Sabha MP Bishnu Charan Das on the 21st of March. While the term of the office for the Manipur RS MP will be up to 9th of April 2020, the term for the Odisha Rajya Sabha MP will be till the 1st of July 2022. The last date for withdrawal of nomination papers is the 18th of May, while the counting of votes will happen on the 25th of May after voting ends at 5 p.m. With that, let's take you through what else is making news across the country in Nationwide. The Samajwadi Party on Sunday expelled its party leaders Mohammad Shahid, Deepak Mishra, Kallu Yadav, Rajesh Yadav and Rakesh Yadav. The decision came close on the heels of Shivpal Yadav's announcement to form a new party named Samajwadi Secular Morcha, for which Mulayam Singh Yadav has been declared as the party's national secretary. A special court will decide today whether to take cognizance of a CBI charge sheet against Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Veerbhadra Singh. The charge sheet, running over 500 pages, claims that Singh had amassed assets worth around 10 crore rupees, which were disproportionate by 192% to his total income during his tenure as a union minister. The Supreme Court has sought a response of the Centre and the Chief Election Commissioner on a plea filed by the Gujarat Patidar leader seeking the use of either ballot paper or EVMs with paper trail for the upcoming assembly elections in the state. The Apex Court has posted the matter for hearing to the first week of July. Parts of Bengaluru's Belandur Lake caught fire again on late Sunday evening, engulfing the surrounding areas in smoke. A thick plume of smoke could be seen rising in the air from one side of the lake. The National Green Tribunal had directed Karnataka government to shut down industrial units as toxic effluents from these plants were being discharged into the lake. With a quick break here, we'll be back with more news in a bit. Stay with us.
From cowries to metal pieces, Indian currency has seen many changes. The earliest punch-marked coins came from Gandhar. The East India Company at the turn of the 19th century also minted its own coins. The Indo-Greek coins come from a colony left behind by Alexander. They depict the golden rule of the Guptas, with embossed human portraits and matrimonial alliances like Chandragupta Maurya's wedding with Seleucus I Nicator's daughter.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritanshu Rai and you're watching Constitutionally Yours. Assam has been witnessing unabated migration from Bangladesh.
Only 6% of the people were identified as foreigner. I will say Section 6A is unconstitutional.
Don't you think that 6A has failed the purpose for which it was enacted?
I don't think that Section 6A has lost its relevance.
Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha television.
Currency Building, Kolkata. A 178-year-old structure, built in 1833 in the Italianate style with Venetian windows, ornate cast iron gates and railings. The central hall of this building gets light through the sunlight overtoppings in the large domes. This beautiful building was originally the Agra Bank, and then it became the Office of Issue and Exchange of Government Paper Currency. It later housed the Reserve Bank of India until 1937. Today, the building is protected by the Archaeological Survey of India.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. salute to diversity, promoting public discourse, events that motivate, inspiring the creative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Welcome back. Let's get you some more news now. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has spoken to Indian Ambassador in the US, Navtej Sanna, amid rise in hate crimes in United States. Sushma Swaraj assured that the Indian government is committed to help and protect all Indian citizens living abroad. Her response came hours after Punjab Chief Minister Amrinder Singh brought the incident of the killing of a Sikh man to Swaraj's notice. As per reports, a 32-year-old Sikh man, Jagjit Singh, was stabbed to death outside a grocery store in California on Friday. In another incident, a 32-year-old Indian-American doctor was shot dead under mysterious circumstances in a car in Michigan. Rakesh Kumar, who worked in the urology department of the Henry Ford Hospital, was found dead on the passenger seat of a car. Police are investigating the case to ascertain the cause of his death. Family members of Kumar say that they do not suspect anyone and have ruled out the possibility of it being an incident of hate crime. Now to France, where Emmanuel Macron was elected as the country's youngest head of state since Napoleon after beating his far-right rival, Marine Le Pen, in an emphatic result that will have far-reaching consequences for Brexit and Europe. 39-year-old Macron won almost two-thirds of the vote, showing a clear path to the Elysee Palace for the pro-EU centrist, who was a political unknown until 3 years ago and has never held elected office. Here are more details. French President-elect Emmanuel Macron addressing a huge victory rally in front of Paris's Louvre Museum and very symbolically taking to the stage to the European Union anthem Ode to Joy. Speaking to thousands of supporters, he pledged to represent French values in Europe and the world.
Je vous servirai avec humilité, avec force. Je vous servirai au nom de notre devise, liberté, égalité, fraternité, dans la fidélité de la confiance que vous m'avez donnée. Je vous servirai avec amour. Vive la République! Vive la France!
39-year-old Macron, a former economy minister who ran as neither left nor right independent, took over 65% of the votes to his rival Le Pen's 35%. His victory was hailed by his supporters as holding back a tide of populism after the Brexit vote and Donald Trump's victory in the US election. His election also represents a long-awaited generational change in French politics, where the same faces have dominated for years.
Ils attendent que partout nous défendions les libertés, que nous protégions les opprimés. Ils attendent que nous portions une nouvelle espérance, un nouvel humanisme, celui d'un monde plus sûr, d'un monde de liberté défendue, d'un monde de croissance, de plus de justice, de plus d'écologie.
As Macron addressed his victory rally, his rival, the anti-EU Marine Le Pen, took the stage in the east of Paris to give a quick speech to her supporters, conceding defeat. Despite the wide margin of the final result, Le Pen's score nonetheless marked a historic high for the French far right. The anti-immigration, anti-EU National Front supporters asserted that the party had a central place as an opposition force in France.
J'appelle tous les patriotes à nous rejoindre afin de participer au combat politique décisif qui commence dès ce soir. Plus que jamais dans les mois qui viennent, la France aura besoin de vous. Vive la République, vive la France!
Tant bien que la défaite elle est douloureuse, il faut savoir l'accepter. Aujourd'hui, ça n'a pas marché. On est digne de la déception et de la défaite. Bon, on attend de voir ce que Macron va donner, le système.
What's crucial to note is that voter turnout was the lowest in more than 40 years. Almost one-third of voters chose neither Macron nor Le Pen, with 12 million abstaining and 4.2 million spoiling ballot papers. Macron, who has never held elected office and was unknown until 3 years ago, is France's youngest president. Next Sunday, he will take over a country under a state of emergency, still facing a major terrorism threat and struggling with a stagnant economy after decades of mass unemployment. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Amid increasing strain in Sino-Indian ties, China has proposed a 4-point initiative, including aligning its One Belt, One Road project with India's Act East policy. This to improve ties with New Delhi, saying that the One Belt, One Road project is a major public product China has provided to the world. China said that it would give the two countries fresh opportunities. Speaking at defense think tank United Service Institution on Friday, Chinese envoy Luo Jiahui said that good ties between India and Pakistan were conducive to regional stability and in China's interests. The proposal says, firstly, start negotiations on a China-India treaty of good neighborliness and friendly cooperation. Secondly, restart negotiation of China-India free trade agreement. Thirdly, strive for an early harvest on the border issue. Fourthly, actively explore the feasibility of aligning China's One Belt, One Road initiative and India's Act East policy. Meanwhile, North Korea on Sunday detained another US citizen on suspicion of acts against the state. The arrests would make him the fourth American and the second within a fortnight to be held by the isolated country. The detainee, Kim Hak-song, was engaged with the Pyongyang University of Science and Technology. This comes after a third US citizen, Kim Sak-dong, in fact associated with the same school, was detained in late April for alleged hostile acts. The State Department has said that it is aware of the latest reported detention. It comes at a time when tensions on the Korean peninsula are running high, as both Pyongyang and Washington are at loggerheads over the North's pursuit of nuclear weapons. At least 82 schoolgirls were released on Sunday by terror group Boko Haram. They were abducted, in fact, from northeastern Nigeria 3 years ago. The move comes after the government secured the release in exchange for Boko Haram prisoners. The girls were welcomed by the Chief of Staff to the Nigerian president after arriving at Abuja airport. Around 270 girls were kidnapped in April 2014 by the Islamist militant group, which has killed 15,000 people and displaced more than 2 million during a 7-year insurgency aimed at creating an Islamic caliphate in northeastern Nigeria.
Welcome our girls, welcome our sisters. We're happy to have you back. We're very glad that you are back. And every Nigerian today must be forgetting every other hardship is suffering, because it is a very joyous moment. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
And here's a quick roundup of some international updates in World Wrap. A wildfire in the Okefenokee region in Georgia has forced dozens of nearby residents to evacuate their homes. About 130,000 acres are already burnt, but no injuries have been reported so far. While much of the wildlife refuge is marshland and swamp, parts of it are wooded land. Iraqi forces faced stiff resistance from Islamic State in northwest Mosul on Sunday after opening a new front against the militants. Having gained a foothold in the northern district last week, Iraqi forces are trying to push down into the handful of remaining districts held by Islamic State. The new push from the northwest of Mosul began last week after other fronts in the city's southern districts stalled around the old city, where the iconic mosque from which Islamic State leader proclaimed a modern-day caliphate is located. At least 32 school students were killed in Tanzania, where their vehicle plunged into a roadside ravine in the northern region of the country. The accident occurred when the bus descended a steep hill in rainy conditions. The police is investigating the cause of the incident. According to government data, more than 11,000 people were killed in road accidents in Tanzania between 2014 and 2016. And now in some cricket, the BCCI Selection Committee will meet today in New Delhi to pick the squad for the 8-team event starting the 1st of June. In a special general meeting held on Sunday, the cricket body cleared India's participation in the ICC Champions Trophy in England and Wales. The board further decided that no legal recourse will be taken against the ICC as dictated by the Committee of Administrators. Earlier, the BCCI had threatened to pull out of the tournament after its revenue share was reduced to $293 million from $470 million. That's all we have for you on the Breakfast News. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good day.